Hey guys, Diana here from Clay to Canopy, and today I am going to be making some breakfast. Now, because I teach and I'm on the go a lot of times, and breakfast happens to be like my absolute favorite meal, but a lot of times it's hard to catch a breakfast, that I'm really happy and satisfied with. So today I'm going to be making breakfast empanadas. And they're really great and handy because you can make up a whole bunch of them at the beginning of the week and throw them either in the refrigerator and reheat them as you go, or even freeze them. To get started, let me just go over the ingredients that I'm using. And so I have 5 eggs, half a cup of half and half, milk, cream, whatever you have, or even skip it all together. I really don't find that it makes much of a difference in the fluffing of the eggs, honestly, as long as you're using the proper whisk, but I have the half and half and I gotta get rid of it, so might as well throw it in. Okay, I also have a half of a yellow bell pepper, a half of a red bell pepper, and I have about 1/4 of a cup of finely diced onion. All of my ingredients, in fact, are pretty finely diced because they're going to be going into essentially a little pocket. You want to make sure that all of your ingredients are finely chopped so that you're not getting odd proportions. And then I also have 4 slices of bacon. This is pre-cooked bacon that I bought at Costco. It comes already pre-cooked and frozen. I have about 1/2 cup of Mexican blend cheese, and then I have a package of empanada shells that come in the freezer section. At most supermarkets, they're pretty much already done and ready to go. That saves me on a huge step. I also have a teaspoon of taco and fajita seasoning that I get in your spice aisle where they have those pre-made spices, and you could mix up your own, but this is just really easy to just throw that into whatever I'm making. I also have some cooking spray, and then I have a fairly generous pinch of salt. The tools I will be using will be a frying pan, and then I have a cookie sheet that I have lined with some parchment paper, and a bowl and some kind of mixing spoon. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to be cooking up my ingredients in stages, and to start me off, I'm going to go in for the eggs first. So I'm just going to add my half and half to my bowl here, and using a vinaigrette whisk, I am going to whisk up my eggs. I found that really the fluffiness all comes down to how well you whisk your eggs, and I get the best results using this vinaigrette whisk rather than a regular wired whisk. Really going to town here. I want to get a little bit of frothiness going, and in doing so I will get nicer, fluffier eggs. Alright, add some cooking spray to my pan. This is just olive oil cooking spray. You can use basically any kind of cooking spray. Kind of good Italian chef would I be without my moppina. Okay. It only needs a minute to set. I don't really like having that brown crustiness happening on my eggs, so I just give them a minute. I am not used to cooking on this burner. My stove is gas, but I thought it would be, I'd have a little bit more room than my cramped kitchen to do this cooking demo, but you're gonna have to bear with me as I'm getting adjusted to using this burner. Just have this set, actually this is now set to a high heat, which is probably really a medium heat when it comes to your gas. The more cream you use, the wetter your eggs will become, so you just having to keep that in mind. Sometimes I just forgo the cream altogether, depending on what I'm using the eggs for. Alright, I'm going to add that to my bowl. You can go ahead and take a paper towel and use it to clean out this pan if you'd like to, but the goal here is to do fast cooking without having to do as much of the constant cleanup. So I'm just going to leave my eggs residue in there. I wiped it as best as I could. I'm adding some more cooking spray, and then I'm going to start with my onions. Take a small pinch of that salt I had, pop it on there. Just gonna give my onions a minute or two And then I'm going to go ahead and throw in my peppers. These are bell peppers. You want to give those peppers about 3 to 5 minutes also to get going. I'm going to go ahead and toss in my bacon just to get a little bit more of that extra moisture that may come off of it cooked off before I put it into the empanada shells, because if it's a soggy mixture, you may end up with problems inside the empanada once it goes into the oven. If you are trying to do this vegetarian, forego the bacon, obviously. Maybe you want to throw in some mushrooms. Really, you could throw in just about any vegetable into this. I'm just heating it through, looking to see if there's any bits of moisture coming up, and then once you start hearing a pretty loud sizzle, that means that most of your moisture is gone and you're actually just frying your bits. So at that point you can go ahead and transfer it to your bowl. Turning off my heat because I'm all done with the cooktop. Alright, now I can throw in my spices and my cheese. Mix this all up. You might want to give this 5 to 10 minutes to cool before you go scooping it into your empanada shells. Alright, it is now time to fill these bad boys, and I just have a bowl of water to help me seal the edges and a fork. And then my shells here are a little bit older than they should be, but I'm just going to roll with it because it's all I got. Just going to take a scoop of my filling. Take your finger around the edge. Fold over my wrapper. Sorry, my dough. Wrapper would be if I was making lumpia or egg rolls. There's the Filipino side coming out. Alright, take my fork. And since this has this cracked bit, because as I said, my dough is not as fresh as it could be, I'm going to place this end down. And then I'm just going to continue on. You could throw some potato in this. That would be a great option. Totally forgot potatoes. Man, now I'm bummed I didn't put potatoes in. It's alright. God knows, like, I could go without the extra starch. My cookie sheet is pretty full here, so I'm going to bake up this first batch. Since I'm going to be baking these rather than deep frying them, they're not going to have that glossy glow of, like, you know, fried food. I'm sure they will taste a heck of a lot better if I fried them, but it is much healthier to bake them. So I am just going to give them an egg wash so that they will have that bit of shine. And all my egg wash is I just beat one egg and add about a tablespoon or so of some water to thin out my egg, and I'm just using a pastry brush here to go in and apply the egg to the top. I've preheated my oven at 400 degrees, and I'm going to be baking these for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until I get a golden brown. I only need to cook the dough. My ingredients have been pre-cooked on that frying pan earlier, so I'm not really concerned about making sure those are cooked. I just want to make sure that I don't have raw dough to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and bake these, and once they come out, I'll show you my end result. So I had just enough filling to fill the 10 shells that came in that package, and then with enough left over to fill this one tortilla, so I can bake a tortilla breakfast burrito. Yeah. So now, while I'm waiting for those others to bake, I can still have a little snack. They are out of the oven and they look amazing. Okay, this girl likes to eat. I am half Italian, half Filipino. I'm about to devour these things. I don't trust people who don't eat their own food. It always drives me nuts having those like chefs that you see who cook all of these like meals and you're like, oh, that looks really good, but then they never eat their own food. So I'm gonna sit here on camera and make a pig out of myself and let you watch me eat one of these things because I love them. So yeah. Oh yeah. It's so hot, but I don't care. I'm starving now. In case you can't tell, I like to eat. I don't think these are gonna make it to the freezer. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this first ever cooking tutorial. Hopefully I will have more to come. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I hope to see you here soon. Oh, good. Oh yeah.